पंजाब में SMEDA से किया गया। आप लोग आप कहाँ से? SMEDA की फंडिंग ये जो लिखा है SMEDA, since its inception, has been the apex body looking after SME development in Pakistan, and will always try to develop intervention in the SME sector which support those SMEs which are in its greatest with the felt need towards higher. SMEDA's objectives are looking at policy formulation within the government to encourage SME growth in the country, to develop development services and strengthen SME representative bodies, conducting sectoral research programs for developing sector development strategies, for facilitating SMEs in securing financing and strengthening SMEs by facilitating seminars and workshops. We also are working in donor assistance for SME development and for assistance. We are also implementing comprehensive public sector development finance program to develop common facility centers across the country. In terms of support in the industry, we have established industry support cell. And this industry support cell, in collaboration with international organizations like JICA, GIZ, BSC, APO of Japan, SCSC, UNIDO, UNDP, and World Bank, is working on various initiatives to support the industry. The organizations to which we have offered support, including the Pakistan Housing Manufacturing Association, Ready Garment Association, ACTIMA, MPM, FMA, and other associations. So far, we have been able to engage approximately 29 experts to support 398 SMEs across Pakistan. We have also held approximately 94 workshops and seminars to apprise all our stakeholders of the initiatives that we are taking and how they can benefit. We have also developed approximately 8 training manuals to apprise our stakeholders and companies the best practices that are prevailing in the various sectors that we are working on: textile, light engineering, auto parts, foundry, footwear, sports clothes, fan, jute, food processing, marble, chemicals, and fiber. In terms of initiatives on energy efficiency, we need to realize, we need to see that in terms and help them reduce costs in this era of rising energy costs. That is a great service that we are in the SME sector. SMEDA started to engage in the energy efficiency area initiatives in 2006 in collaboration with renewable energy and energy efficiency programs, and since then it has implemented a number of programs along with its development partners. We are working in 4 areas. One is energy audits, then implementing energy management systems. We are also undertaking a training of energy management and energy managers. And we are also, and this is a new initiative, we are developing energy service companies, which will help the SMEs because of our limited capacity at SMEDA. These energy efficiency companies will help SMEs at large to do such initiatives and programs. In terms of our collaboration with BFZ, in 2008, BFZ initiated a project called ESPIRE on behalf of the German Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development. SMEDA signed an MOU under this particular program with BFZ in June 2011 with the objective of improving economic efficiency and ecological sustainability of Pakistan's industry, particularly the SME sector. And the goal was to enable local industry to produce more with less through increased energy efficiency and green productivity measures. And I think Martin will be elaborating on that particular area also. What we do is, in this particular cooperation, we are undertaking energy audits and implementing energy management systems and developing energy service companies, and mainly in Punjab and Sindh areas. So far, we have supported 18 companies, and we have approved it in this one year of cooperation, and 23 companies are in the pipeline. In terms of our cooperation with BFZ, we are developing products and executing project activities, including marketing, promotion, advertising of product services and products, and also organizing awareness seminars. One such activity is this, to apprise the SME sector at large of the initiatives that are available to us. In terms of how do we go about it, it is very interesting. For the first 15 companies that we have supported, BFZ has shared 70% of the cost. So it is a sliding scale. In terms of the next 10 companies, 50% of the cost has been shared by BFZ. And in terms of the next 15 companies, 30% of the cost has been shared by BFZ. And after this, a performance guarantee of BFZ is also available to 20 to 30 more companies of this program willing to benefit from this particular joint venture. It's very interesting that the achievement of this program, the target was to improve energy efficiency in a given company by 5%. But on average, we have been able to do that and take it up to approximately 90%. So it has been far better than what our expectations were in terms of how we are doing it. We are working in the hosiery manufacturers, with the ready-made garment manufacturers, with textile processing partners, and through this whole program, what we have done is the total support provided to the company so far is the cost of that is approximately 3 million. As a result of this support, the companies themselves have invested 13 million rupees into their production processes. And it will be very interesting for you to know that within this 1 year, the companies have achieved 54 million rupees savings out of that program. So you can very well imagine this program is being done over many times for this. In this way, we are also further and we can open the Q&A after.
Well, as Khurram Khan, General Manager, reported, Martin Straehle, the International Project Coordinator of ESC, is with us as a local spokesperson of PFC. He will apprise you about the implementation of project with SMEDA as well as other business associations. Martin Straehle, please.
Thank you, Mr. Khurram Khan. Thank you very much to the media present here in the press conference, that you followed our invitation and that you spent your valuable time, show your interest in the very important issue of energy efficiency for the Pakistani industry. Thank you very much also to SMEDA in general, both us for the organization of this event, but also generally the cooperation to promote and to help really to distribute this idea of energy efficiency to the companies here in Pakistan. Before I start to briefly present you about the project and the achievements, I would like to introduce our team from ESC, just that you know who is really behind this effort and the success we already achieved. First of all, who can see behind Mr. Salahuddin Farrukh, he's our national project coordinator for the Project ESPIRE in Pakistan. Then Mr. Salman Butt, he's responsible for Punjab region, and our other project manager for Sindh region is not here today. Project ESPIRE, like we already heard, is a partnership project funded by the German government, the German Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development. This project phase started in 2011, and our partners are, besides SMEDA, mainly the business associations, mainly from the textile sector. In Karachi, we also include town associations. Reason being that we want to actually enlarge the project from not only targeting textile industries, we already mentioned food processing of pharmaceuticals, to really bring the benefits also to other sectors. The partners' responsibility is mainly doing the marketing promotion, but also carrying the outreach, and we would like really to make a continuity to it. So when we see that leaving the country again, that not the whole project stops, but then really we can say the idea is carried further. So the problem we often see in this kind of cooperation projects, that everything is focused on the international development and then leaving actually all the activities stop. So I think in this kind of setup, we are hopeful that we can prevent this. About the timelines, like I said, it started in 2011. The project will run until May 2014, and then funding actually stops, but we are already thinking about continuing this project, perhaps with other donors or the German government. So that is about that, about the framework. Now about ESPIRE Energy. We have said, okay, ESPIRE is actually divided in two parts. We have mainly the ESPIRE Energy part, which we will focus on today because we have a really solid result already in hand. The second part, which we are moving into, is we call it ESPIRE Green, where we really go for the whole thing, not only the energy part, including water conservation, wastages, the introduction productivity side, which will be our bigger project, and is still not so easy to sell to the industry because this whole green issue is, first of all, you have to show the energy cost savings, which is not as easy as for the energy part. And the second part is that the whole concept is a little bit more complicated, so that the processes that is a little bit more difficult to sell to the industry. Not just by energy, I would like to start with briefly mention all the product portfolio services we provide to the industry, and I would really like to highlight actually the differences between what we are doing, perhaps other donors or consultants are doing in the market. You can see on the two screens actually beside here the figures already that I'm showing so that you can follow as well. Everybody who has been involved in energy use in the industry will know what energy audits. The simple idea behind is an external consultant, an expert in the field, goes in the industries, assesses what is the current kind of working procedures and gives recommendation how you can improve your energy efficiency and thus reduce actually the usage of energy in the thermal, but also in the electrical and mechanical field. The problem is consultants go in the industry after perhaps 1 week, 2 weeks, they hand over a report and then are seen again. And the industry is left back with this report on their hands, and normally after a few weeks it lands somewhere in the desk and is never looked at upon it again. That is the reason why we said we should have a different approach. First thing, I think the last year, look at the slides, is that we say we have to train people in the factories, that they are really able to implement, and that they are able to even identify new saving measures, even if the consultant is not there anymore. First and foremost. Second point, if you have a trained team, you also need to give them a structure that they really can develop it themselves. The idea was to really set up an energy management system where we say you have to define policy, where you really say you have a strategy to go to energy saving. You set your indicators that you really say you have very tangible, measurable kind of goals you want to achieve. And like I said, through training to really enable them to do that. And we implement the software where you really measure the data, you follow it, both on the cost side and the energy consumption side, and you really can verify actually improvements. So I think that is a holistic approach that really helps the industry on a long run to maintain and also to improve further energy efficiency. Also briefly mentioned what already that for that we really have to train our consultants. So like I said, the local consultants know about how to train efficiency and audits about energy management. They are not so well versed yet. So that is really the actual we have to come partners with the consultants that they really can train people and upgrade them in a way that they can conduct all this themselves. Now about the achievements. Because that we mentioned, I was just carry them on in more detail. Progress so far in the project was that we have 18 factories completed, and all the measures, all the data that you see now is actually coming from 80 completed factories, 23 complete factories starting. These figures are all applied for Sindh region and for Punjab region. So we are mainly active so far in Lahore, Pakistan, so these are the 4 industrial cities where we are working on. That's achievements of the project so far. And first of all, I would like to show you the savings which have been achieved in average factories. This is really 2.99 million Pakistani rupees of savings within 1 year, which means that really within 1 year, every year they have these savings of these figures in rupees. And we have to just set an investment per factory of 0.89 million rupees, which includes the consulting fee and the investments they make. For example, if they do the installation of the pipe, if they, for example, use their boilers, if they install a efficiency drive on motors, all the services we provide to the industry. And I would really like to highlight actually the differences between what we are doing perhaps other donors or consultants are doing in the market. You can see on the 2 screens actually beside here the figures already what I'm showing so that you can follow better. Everybody who has been involved with energy use in the industry will know about energy audit. Second point, we have to train teams who also need to give them a structure that they really can develop it themselves. The idea was to really set up an energy management system where we say you have to find policy, that you say you have a strategy to go to energy saving. That we really have the savings on hand. It's not just that we have a potential saving. Normally you have in the reports, you have people say, okay, we have identified different savings, which is just merely calculation. So it's something on the paper, but it's not showing important. What we are doing actually, all our contracts with the consultants, they are bound to go back to the industries after 1, 2, 3, 6 months. And after 6 months, they have to measure again all the things where changes have been taking place. We really measure the energy reduction that has taken place. So all this data we can show you, we can really prove it. It's not just on the paper, it's also statistically. And you can see that all the stages we are showing here are just realized after 6 months after the implementation, after the energy audit has been done. So many factories, even later on, are still in the implementation phase, so we can be totally sure that the total energy savings will increase further. Then I would just like you that you also see that perhaps in comparison, we have now the rupee saving, to see the overall savings also in megawatt hours. There we have achieved 22 15,300 megawatt hours of savings in these 18 industries, what they will realize in the first year. And just as a comparison of this figure, a normal Pakistani household in average has an electricity consumption of 2,000 kilowatt hours. And you can see already that it's really very substantial amount of energy saved, and the industry can really significantly contribute by this to also solve a little bit of this energy crisis. Because they have really a big potential to really reduce the energy efficiency, or improve the energy efficiency, reduce consumption, and that's really also help a little bit on the production side, that there is not so much pressure. For us also, I think also for Pakistan, besides these cost and energy savings, it is also important to highlight the benefits for the environment. We talk about CO2 emissions. I mean, Pakistan has also been severely affected by flooding, for example, in the past. There is good evidence that these things are also linked to climate change. I think it's also important to see in this aspect that also with this kind of energy savings, a good potential in CO2 savings is coming with this. We achieved only these 18 factories now, 15,300 metric tons of savings in CO2. And also again, to explain, because often these figures are very theoretical, this corresponds really to the CO2 emissions of 15,700 Pakistani nationals per year. So just 18 factories are reducing their energy consumption by 9%, actually replace the whole consumption of 15,700 people here. So I think this is a very impressive figure also to see how much really the industry can contribute if they are willing really to the benefit and to the improvement of the livelihood here in Pakistan. This is about achievement is the question that I want to point them out. Just perhaps how we're going to go on.
Some documents for the CPMs.
So
different industries.
Different methods which have been taken, or the industries which are industries. Okay. From these 18 factories, actually 17 were textile factories from different subsectors. There's from processing, but we also have, for example, some micro CNT sealing included. I think it's also something we should highlight, that we are not only focusing on the big spinning mills or processing mills, but that we say also small factories, even they have even better improvements. They could save more than 10% in average. So we also target small factories. In these 18 factories included is one food processing company. In the 23 we started, we also have now started this pharmaceutical sector. So these are the three sectors, and I think food and pharmaceuticals is what we want to actually improve further.
What about which industries are using our natural gas? You are assisting them also?
Very good question. I think I should have mentioned this or explained it before. What we did actually, as I explained before, we're working on the thermal side, so gas, diesel, if they're using wood, also like on the electrical side. The only thing we did actually, to show only one figure, I don't have too many figures, we just converted it into megawatt hours. So this figure would include also the thermal side. Yeah. Very important question. So notice 156 potential. Yeah,
including natural gas.
Including natural gas consumption. Thank you very much for the question. Any further questions? If not, I will then hand over to Mr. Khokhar, CEO of Punjab.
Thank you, moderators, in order to intensify our considered and make some strategic interventions in areas which will impact. Energy efficiency and green productivity is again an area which is of great concern to us as we are facing energy shortages. In terms of green productivity, we are also trying to have more focus on that because of climate concerns and the changes that are taking place. That is a growing area where there is some intervention and
and especially of the creation of awareness, I think a lot can be done. In terms of the present initiative, I would like to mention one thing, that although the scale may be small, but the ideas behind these initiatives are, the idea behind this initiative is actually based on making some sort of a demonstration. We take an area of importance, like in this case, it is energy shortage. According to a study conducted by the Ministry of Industries, almost 3% of our GDP growth is being lost due to energy shortages. This area has been identified and intervention made, and after that demonstration is that we expect an application. This is something which we have also done with other international development partners like JICA, and we'll give you the details regarding all the initiatives that have been taken by the various international development partners. And I think they have produced a good replication effect in the sense that after some pilot projects were implemented, basically based initially largely on grants from our international partners, they have generated so much interest that queues start forming in terms of giving them priority as well. In the process, what has happened is that we have also been able to develop new SMEs. We are now able to have a database. We can indulge in some matchmaking between the service providers and the clients, and at the same time, those companies, energy service companies, they have come up, although they may be few right now, but that is another success of the initiative or another dimension of the success, that we are also ending up creating small businesses which are then going to have more clients as awareness about this grows. In terms of SMEDA itself, I think since its inception in 1998, the organization has been prime advocate for the SME sector, which is not a very well-organized sector, and lacks the clout enjoyed by the large enterprises. We have moved on, and now I think we have ourselves approached the USA and sought the technical assistance for conducting a re-evaluation of SMEDA in terms of the change dynamics after the 18th Constitution Amendment and the 7th Industry Award. And the purpose is to have basically an outsider's perspective as well, apart from our experience, to see how can we revisit our mandate. So we are in the process of getting the SMEDA Act 2002 evaluated, re-examined, as well as the SME policy 2007. I think once that exercise is completed in a couple of months, then we would be in a position to go for restructuring of the organization after approval by the government. What I basically want to drive home is the message that this is a dynamic organization. We are outward-looking. We are trying to develop our linkages with commerce further, and also work on international development partners. And the idea is to be there as a facilitator for the SME sector. I would like to thank you once again. I would like to thank our friends from BFC for this help, and we look forward to concluding this segment of the program in 2014, and then have it carried forward under some other program about which we have already started discussions. We are now increasing our focus on the introductory as well, as I mentioned earlier, and we expect our relationship with BFC to grow stronger in the years to come. On our behalf, I would like to assure them of our fullest cooperation, because we realize the importance of the initiatives in these critical sectors, and I think with some more strategic intervention in sectors such as these, we will be able to create some sort of ripple effect, whereby we can have successful models on the ground for the private sector to follow. That is the entire scheme of things for which SMEDA was actually set up. Thank you very much.
So, Martin, can you please tell us?
Factories paid 180,000 rupees. Actually, what we said so far, ESC was sharing costs. So, in the moment, we are a cost sharing level of 50%. And furthermore, on the implementation implementation of the solutions, we have costs in average of 0.71 million Pakistani rupees. Yeah? So in total, fee plus investment, we have 0.89 million rupees investment to achieve these savings of 3 million per year. And that is then coming up to these 3.7 months to pay back.
The idea is that the payback period is very less compared to similar information. As was briefly mentioned, and some details will also be included in the handout that is also being provided separately.
Perhaps one additional information, this has only been achieved on the identified measures by our consultants during the energy audit. The average companies have implemented 50% of the solutions. So we see there is still also big saving potential still to be realized. So 9% savings just by implementing 50%.
چند رسمی آپ نے نشاندہی کی ہے کہ پاکستان جو بھی جب تک ٹیکسٹائل کی چل رہا ہے پاکستان میں بہت بڑے خاص ایریا کو آپ ہمارا پارک کا ایریا بہت زیادہ وہاں پر تبدیلی بہت زیادہ اس میں کیا پلان ہے؟
میرا خیال ہے کہ ہمارا جو یہ سلسلہ اسٹارٹ ہوتا ہے جو بھی انیشیٹو ہم لیتے ہیں ہماری پالیسی ہوتی ہے کہ اسٹیک ہولڈرس کو ہم کیونکہ اسٹیک ہولڈرس کو بورڈ کیے تو ہم بورڈ کے بغیر کوئی انیشیٹو کامیاب نہیں ہو سکتا. ہم سیکٹر دیکھ سکتے ہیں ان کی جو ٹریڈ باڈی ایسوسیشن ہے ان سے رابطہ کرتے ہیں اور یہاں پہ جو ہمارے انٹرنیشنل ڈیولپمنٹ پارٹنرز ہوتے ہیں ان کے ساتھ بیٹھ کے اور ان کو پھر فائنلائز کیا جاتا ہے کہ پہلا پائلٹ جو ہے کون سے سیکٹر میں اور اس کے کون سے یونٹ جو ہے. اس کا یہ فائدہ ہوتا ہے کہ اس میں ایک اویئرنیس بھی پیدا ہوتی ہے اور اس میں خود بخود سسٹینیبلٹی آ جاتی ہے کیونکہ جب ایک سکسیس اسٹوری سامنے آتی ہے تو پھر اور لوگوں کی خواہش ہوتی ہے کہ ہم بھی پروفٹ کیونکہ پرائیویٹ سیکٹر از پروفٹ اورینٹیڈ تو جہاں بھی ان کو پروفٹ نظر آئے گا تو جیسے میں نے مینشن کیا وہ ہمارا ڈیمونسٹریشن ایریا کے نام پر جاتا ہے. اور کیونکہ اس وقت تک ہم انڈسٹری ڈیولپ کر رہے ہوتے ہیں تو پرائیویٹ سیکٹر اپنے طور پہ وہ انرجی آڈٹ بھی کرا سکتا ہے اور انٹرونشن کرا کے جس قسم کی سیونگ ہوتی ہے ان کو اپنے خرچے کو نکال سکتا ہے کیونکہ پے بیک پیریڈ کم ہے. جہاں تک دور دراز علاقوں کا تعلق ہے میرا خیال ہے کہ ابھی تک ہمارا جو فوکس ہے وہ ٹریڈ باڈیز کے ذریعے سے ہے. اب یہ ان پہ مناسب ہے کہ وہ کون سے ایریاز پہ کرتے ہیں. اس کے علاوہ پھر ہمارے جو انٹرنیشنل ڈیولپمنٹ پارٹنرز ہیں ان کا بھی ساتھ بیٹھ کے ہم ان کے ساتھ فائنلائز کرتے ہیں وہ بھی اس ڈیسیجن میں حصہ لیتے ہیں کہ کون سے سیکٹر کو پک کرتے ہیں اور ان سیکٹر کو پک کرنے کے بعد ان ٹریڈ باڈیز کو ہم ساتھ لے کے چلتے ہیں اور اس طرح سے یہ انیشیٹو آگے جاتا ہے. کیونکہ ملک کافی سالوں سے انرجی شارٹیج کا شکار رہا ہے اور اس وقت ہمارے لیے وہ مسئلہ شارٹیج ہے. اس لیے SMEDA پچھلے 4 سالوں سے اس سے زیادہ فوکس کر رہا ہے اور ہم نے مختلف اور بھی انٹرنیشنل ڈیولپمنٹ پارٹنرز کے ساتھ لے کے یہ انیشیٹو کیے ہیں اور ہماری کوشش ہے کہ اس کے لیے ہم اور فنڈنگ جو ہے وہ ارینج کر سکیں تاکہ اس ایریا میں ہم اور فردر ڈیٹیلز بھی کچھ اور پارٹنرز کے حوالے سے بھی وہ بھی ہم آپ سے سیپریٹلی شیئر کر سکتے ہیں.
Somebody like Ajiba want to ask questions. Ji, Shahbaz, you want to ask questions?
جو ہے وہ انرجی سیکٹر پہ رہا ہے اس کے اندر جتنا ہے آپ کو پتا ہوگا کہ تھرمل جو ہے سب سے مہنگا فارم ہے انرجی پروڈیوس کرنے کا اور ہمارا جو انرجی مکس ہے جیسے آپ کو پتا ہے وہ بھی ڈسٹارٹ ہونے کی وجہ سے اور موسٹلی تھرمل بیسڈ ہونے کی وجہ سے جو کہ پہلے نہیں تھا آج سے 10-15 سال پہلے وہ آپ کی جو پرائسز کا ایشو ہے وہ بھی اس سے پیدا ہوتا ہے. ہمارا اس پہ فوکس رہا ہے اور گیس کا تھوڑا سا جو کہ اٹ از لیس ڈیمیجنگ ٹو دی انوائرمنٹ جو ہمارا دوسرا انیشیٹو آپ نے بول کیا وہ گرین پروڈکٹیوٹی ہے. اس لیے ہمارے انٹرنیشنل ڈیولپمنٹ پارٹنرز کے حوالے سے فوکس ہیز بین آن یونٹس وچ آر کنزیومنگ الیکٹریسٹی اور اس کی اوریجن پہ ابھی تک ہم نے ایز سچ فوکس اس وجہ سے نہیں کیا کیونکہ ہمارا مقصد یہ ہے کہ وٹ ایور وہاں پہ اسپننگ یونٹ ہے کوئی بھی ٹیکسٹائل یونٹ ہے اس کے انرجی آڈٹ کے ذریعے سے یہ پتہ چلتا ہے کہ اس میں کس قسم کی انٹرونشنز کر کے ان ٹرمز آف اکوپمنٹ in terms of training their manpower اور کس طریقے سے ان کو زیادہ ایفیشینٹ کر کے اور انرجی کنزرو کر سکتے ہیں. سو اوور آل فوکس ہمارا انرجی مکس کی بجائے انرجی کنزرویشن پہ ہے. اگر آپ کا پوائنٹ بالکل ویلڈ ہے کہ اس میں اگر انرجی مکس کے حوالے سے بھی ہم دیکھیں تو یہ بھی knowledge की clarification की जाएगी, examine that in consultation with our partners, और उसमें आप देखते हैं क्या किया जा सकता है. Right now हमारा focus है to conserve energy because of the grave energy shortages, और इसमें हम अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह इन interventions के जरिए से बेहतरी ला सके हैं, जिसकी वजह से इसका डिमांड हमारी जो बिजनेस कम्युनिटी है उसकी तरफ से बढ़ना है. इसलिए खतरा भी जो है बचत के जरिए जो वो भी हमारी कोशिश है नेशनल सेक्टर्स जो है हमारी इंडस्ट्री के ट्रेड बॉडीज़ के साथ मिलकर कुछ एरियाज में इंटरवेंशन करें, एनर्जी ऑडिट्स करें और कुछ थोड़ा सा खर्चा इनिशियली फंड हमारे डेवलपमेंट पार्टनर्स करते हैं और फिर बाद में भी उससे एनर्जी सेविंग करते हैं. मकसद इस इंटरवेंशन का ये है कि अवेयरनेस क्रिएट की जाए कि हमारी जो प्रोसेस इनएफिशिएंट है इस वक्त, उनको थोड़े से खर्चे के साथ एफिशिएंट बना के आप 9 से 10% अपना एनर्जी बिल कम कर सकते हैं, जो कि आज कल इतनी महंगी एनर्जी हो गई है. इस इनिशिएटिव का मकसद बेसिकली अवेयरनेस पैदा करना है अपनी जो है इंडस्ट्रीज़ में कि अपने एनर्जी ऑडिट कराएँ, एनर्जी मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम इंट्रोड्यूस कराएँ और थोड़ा सा खर्चा करने के जरिए आप चंद महीनों के अंदर उसको पे बैक ले सकते हैं और आपका एनर्जी बिल कम हो जाएगा. वो उनके लिए भी फ़ायदा है और उनका कॉम के लिए भी फ़ायदा है कि जितनी एनर्जी बचेगी उसका और
तक 150 कंपनीज में काम करना है और हमारा मेन टारगेट ये है कि इसमें मोर देन 80% अगर SMEs होंगी जो जिन तक आमतौर पर बाकी डोनर्स की रिसाई नहीं होती. हम ये चाह रहे हैं कि उनकी वहाँ से रिसाई है और तकरीबन 1,80,000 मेगावाट आवर्स की करंट एनर्जी सेव होगी अगर 150 कंपनीज में इसी रफ्तार से जो अगर आप निकालें तो तकरीबन 20-22 हज़ार घरों की बिजली बनती है. तो अगर हम ये देखें ये सिर्फ 150 कंपनीज हमारे प्रोजेक्ट है. पाकिस्तान में इस वक्त 2-3 मिलियन इंडस्ट्रीज पाकिस्तान में लगी हुई. अगर वो सब बिजली बचा लेते हैं तो मेरा ख्याल है कि हमें एक तो बड़े पावर प्लांट लगाने से हम बच जाएंगे अगर ये लोग एनर्जी सेव करें. तो हमेशा 3-4 स्ट्रेटेजीज होती हैं एनर्जी में. आप या तो एनर्जी परचेज करते हैं या आपको जनरेट करते हैं या फिर आप उसको प्रॉपरली सेव करते हैं. तो हमारा स्कीम बनाते हैं उसकी डबल कॉस्ट आती है गैस के मुकाबले. उसके ज़्यादा इन्वायरमेंटल इफेक्ट भी है. अब जिस तरह पंजाब में फैक्ट्री फूड पे कन्वर्ट हो रही है जिस फूड से इस साइड से अगर कन्वर्ट होती रही और वो सबसे सेल्फ सस्टेनेबल ना हो तो मेरा ख्याल है विद इन फ्यू ईयर्स जितना कुछ जंगल रह गया है हमारे रकबे का वैसे 3-4% वो भी खत्म हो जाएगा.
आपके गोल्स क्या है मतलब कि सपोज आपके 2013 के क्या गोल्स हैं कितनी इंडस्ट्री?
हमारे 2013 के जो गोल्स हैं वो इंक्लूडिंग पंजाब एंड सिंध हमारा फोकस है कि अराउंड 70 कंपनीज में हम ये प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट करेंगे. 18 कंपनीज ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं. बिगिनिंग ऑफ नेक्स्ट ईयर फरवरी तक हम मजीद 23 कंपनीज में प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट कर लेंगे. उसके अलावा हम चाह रहे हैं अराउंड 60-70 कंपनीज में ये प्रोजेक्ट करें. इसके साथ साथ जो एक सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है वो है ग्रीन प्रोडक्टिविटी जिसके ऊपर हम मजीद फोकस कर रहे हैं. अभी हमने कल हमारी एक एनुअल प्लानिंग मीटिंग की थी जिसमें हमने वो प्रोजेक्ट प्रॉपरली लॉन्च किया. उसमें होगी मतलब सेविंग which were achieved in lower number of metals in 6 months. So industry really saved 3 million rupees and also had a significant saving in the energy. इसका मेजर मकसद जो है वो इंडस्ट्री की एनर्जी एफिशिएंसी को इम्प्रूव करना है और उसको एनवायरमेंटली भी ज़्यादा सस्टेनेबल करना है. मेरा नाम सलमान है, मैं प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर हूँ इस प्रोजेक्ट का पंजाब रीजन में. हम इस वक्त मेनली जो एक्टिविटीज़ कर रहे हैं वो पंजाब और सिंध रीजन में कर रहे हैं. हमारा एक कराची में भी ऑफिस है. मेनली हम 3-4 लोगों का एक ग्रुप है. हमारे जो पार्टनरशिप है इसमें SMEDA के साथ हमारी स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप है और जो इस प्रोजेक्ट के डायरेक्ट पार्टनर्स हैं वो हौजरी मैनुफैक्चरर्स की एसोसिएशन है. इसके अलावा पाकिस्तान रेडीमेड गारमेंट्स मैनुफैक्चर एसोसिएशन है, टॉवल मैनुफैक्चर एसोसिएशन है, ऑल पाकिस्तान टेक्सटाइल प्रोसेसिंग एसोसिएशन है और कराची में नॉर्थ कराची और फेडरल भी एरिया की टाउन एसोसिएशन इसमें पार्टनर है. इन एसोसिएशन के जो मेंबर्स हैं उनको इन एसोसिएशंस के जो मेंबर्स हैं उनको हम ये प्रोजेक्ट में सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं कि वो एनर्जी एफिशिएंसी को इम्प्रूव करें. तो लोकल कंसल्टेंट जो हैं वो फैक्ट्रीज में जाके काम करते हैं. हम उन कंसल्टेंट को सुपरवाइज करते हैं और 50% जो कंसल्टेंसी फी है وہ بھی ڈی ایف سے ڈلتی ہے. ابھی تک جو اس پروجیکٹ سے 18 کمپنیز کمپلیٹ ہوئی ہیں تو اگست 2011 سے لے کے اب تک ان 18 کمپنیز میں 54 ملین کی سیونگس اب تک ریکارڈ ہو چکی ہیں جو ایکچوئل فیکٹریز کی طرف سے ایکنالجڈ ہیں اور وہ مانتے ہیں کہ ہمیں اتنی سیونگ ہوئی ہے. اور اس میں فیکٹریز نے انویسٹمنٹ جو کیا وہ ٹوٹل 17 ملین کی انویسٹمنٹ کی ہے اور ٹوٹل 3 ملین کی اس کی فیس کی جس میں سے 50% ہم نے دیا ہے 50% فیکٹریز نے دیا. اگر ہم اس کو دیکھیں تو تقریباً 4 مہینے کا پے بیک پیریڈ ہے. جس میں سب سے امپورٹنٹ چیز ہے کہ اس میں جو آج کل کا بہت برننگ ایشو ہے وہ ہے گیس کا اور الیکٹریسٹی کا. اس میں دونوں چیزیں ایڈریس ہو رہی ہیں. اور فیکٹریز میں جب کنسلٹنٹ جاتے ہیں تو انہیں بتاتے ہیں آپ گیس کیسے بچا سکتے ہیں, آپ بجلی کیسے بچا سکتے ہیں اپنی فیکٹری میں. ہم نے یہ دیکھا ہے کہ اگر ایک فیکٹری پراپرلی کام کرے, اپنے ایس او پیز کو مینٹین کرے, اپنی مشینری کو مینٹین رکھے اور 1-2 لوگوں کو اس کام پہ لگا کے رکھے, آپ نے بجلی بچانی ہے, تقریباً 9 سے 10% تک بجلی بہت ایزیلی بچائی جا سکتی ہے. اگر تھوڑی سی انویسٹمنٹ اور کریں تو 15 سے 20% تک بجلی بچائی جا سکتی ہے. ہمارا ٹارگیٹ ہے اس پروجیکٹ کے اینڈ تک 2014 مئی تک 150 کمپنیز. تو اگر 150 کمپنیز میں یہ پروجیکٹ امپلیمنٹ ہو جاتا ہے اور وہ سیونگس اسی رفتار سے آتی رہتی ہیں, پریکٹس امپلیمنٹیشن کرتی رہتی ہیں, تو تقریباً 1,86,000 میگا واٹ آور سالانہ کی سیونگ ہوگی, جو اگر آپ کیلکولیٹ کریں تو کسی ایک بڑے پاور پلانٹ کے برابر سیونگ ہو سکتی ہے. تو یہ انویسٹمنٹ وہاں سے بن سکتی ہے. اس کے ساتھ ساتھ ہم یہ بھی دیکھتے ہیں کہ اگر یہ سیونگ اتنی آتی ہے تو یہ 15-20 ہزار گھروں کے برابر ایک سیونگ ہے. تو اگر فیکٹریز جو ہیں پورے پاکستان کی فیکٹریز اگر 9% بجلی بچانا شروع کرتے ہیں تو اوور آل جو ہمارا میرا خیال ہے کہ لاہور جیسا ایک پورا بڑا شہر جو ہے اس کی بجلی نکل سکتی ہے. Sure.
The project is funded by the German Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development. The project partners are mainly VSC, which is Vocational Development Centers of Bavarian Industry, and our partners locally are the business associations, mainly from the textile sector, and SMEDA. So together, actually, our goal is to make the whole industry to work economically more efficient and also ecologically more sustainable. And in this respect, we are working mainly in the field of energy efficiency, improving really the way energy is used. So it's on the usage side, not on the production side. And help us not only to reduce the energy consumption, but also the costs coming down for the industry to produce. When we look at the total actually benefit that the industry can generate here in Pakistan, I would say there's a huge potential, and we have seen that an average factory can easily save 10% of their consumption. And you now have a look at the total industry in Pakistan, and assuming that 10% of the energy would be saved in the whole industry, I think it would be a tremendous impact actually on the whole energy sector also in Pakistan. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We get all the contact with all the stations on a daily basis.
I have given the format of news.
Okay, can you still then send us also the English version?
Yes.
اور جو چینج ورژن ہے نا انگلش بھی اور اردو میں پتا چلو بھی کیسی ہم تو اپنے ایکسپیرینس لگے نا کوئی کرتا رہتا لیکن کل کی ساتھ کل سارے پہلے سے کیا ہوا ہے بہت شکریہ
both sides. Thank you very much. Thank you.